A thorough discussion of badminton's strategic elements must include a division among single, double and mixed double strategies. You'll first be given some general pointers which relate to all three categories and with which you must become familiar. You should take advantage of your opponent's weaknesses and attempt to utilize your own strengths as much as possible. You must be able to formulate strategic maneuvers by comparing your opponent's game with your own. Do not allow your opponent to utilize his own strength. For example, an opponent with a strong smash must not be given a short high lift that will allow him or her to use this smash. You must be able to observe which stroke it is that will place your opponent under the most pressure in each and every situation, and use this same stroke as often as you can. You must not outplay yourself, as it's then your opponent who will score easy points because you yourself are making mistakes. If you choose a strategy that's successful, don't change it. If you choose a strategy that's unsuccessful, you must change it. The ability to fight and not give up before your opponent has struck the final shuttle onto the floor is perhaps the best strategy you as a badminton player can possess. If you're known to be a fighter, your opponent will be aware of the fact that any match against you will be hard won. You've therefore managed from the first to make yourself a challenging opponent. In singles, the goal is to play the shuttle so that you give your opponent as little time as possible to return it, applying so much pressure that you'll either have good scoring possibilities or your opponent will make a mistake. In singles, we find two main styles of play: aggressive and defensive. The aggressive player plays several smashes with different angles and directions, as well as sliced drop shots and attacking clears. Plays tight net shots in order that his opponent will be forced to lift the shuttle continually. Plays at a very high tempo. Attempts to play the shuttle as early as possible. Speed and endurance are very important to this player, as this style requires a great deal of physical power. The defensive player plays many clears, lifts and drop shots and uses much variation. Attempts to force the opponent into making mistakes. Attempts to tire the opponent as quickly as possible. And makes safe, error-free shots. To be a good singles player and create the most scoring opportunities, you should be able to use both the aggressive and defensive styles of play. In doubles, errors are made more quickly if you're in a defensive situation. The goal is to implement an effective attack and force your opponents to make mistakes. Strategy is more complex in doubles than in singles. You need first to cooperate and communicate with your partner, playing in a relationship where you understand one another. Secondly, you must have a game plan when facing your opponents. In doubles, each player has a separate function. For example, one of you might be very creative and try continually to find openings on the court. This person is often the net player. The other player is the worker who tries to attack with smashes and drop shots. This person works quite often in the back of the court.